Welcome everyone to Buying Local. I'm your host, Mike Nelson from Five Towers Media. Joined today by Michelle and Tim Schultz. We got a few things to talk about, right, guys? We've got Got You Covered Saratoga, Designs on Glen. We've got and I'm going to mess it up because Window Depot of the Adirondacks. Is that
Sure.
correct? Wow,
Yes.
3 for 3 for me. And also, you guys are just opening up a showroom over on Glen Street, so we're going to talk about that as well. So, welcome. Thanks for
Thank you very
being.
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah,
Happy to
absolutely.
be here.
Yeah. So, Michelle and Tim, if you guys don't mind, maybe just kind of give us, an overview about who you are and all the things that you guys are up to.
Sure, absolutely. So I can start, and then Michelle can get into the sort of some of the details. So we have different professional backgrounds. Up until a couple of years ago, Michelle's been in the design area, which she can talk about, and worked for a global window treatment company, Hunter Douglas, as a regional sales manager, traveling around various states. Most recently, she did that. And I have a history of technology sales, so I was selling technology, cybersecurity, things like that, to New York State government in particular, in Albany and various businesses. So we decided a couple of years ago, about the same time, to try to exit corporate America as cleanly as we could. We got a little bit, had some thoughts on some other things we could do on our own that would probably make us a little happier and hopefully be rewarding as well. So we, after some research, we settled on a franchise initially a couple years ago. It's been what, 2 years now?
Yeah.
Called Got You Covered. It's a national franchise, like 180 locations. And we have essentially all of upstate New York for Got You Covered. So we're known as Got You Covered Saratoga. Our corporate name that's above that is Designs on Glen, which we'll talk about in a minute. But Got You Covered Saratoga provides custom window treatments to the Capital District. Most of our business right now is between Clifton Park and Lake George. So it's custom blind shades, draperies, outdoor solutions like awnings and power screens. And from that, and taking Michelle's design experience, we realized pretty quickly that there's also a need for interior design services in the region. So that was sort of where our idea was born, to open up a showroom here in Glens Falls / Queensbury. And Michelle would be running the design side of that, along with her daughters helping out as well. And then I'm sort of doing the sales, marketing, networking, installation services right now, along with the outdoor solutions, so awnings and so forth, as I mentioned. So that's sort of where that all started. And then since then, and I'll pass it to Michelle here in a minute, but since then, we also were offered a Window Depot franchise sort of out of the blue. So we are also taking on a lot, but we're taking on Window Depot. We're going to be known as Window Depot of the Adirondacks. So quality, sort of high-end, high-efficiency windows and entry doors. So we think that complements well the sort of the custom window treatments and the interior design aspect of the business. And with that, Michelle, maybe you can talk about why the showroom?
So the showroom is definitely something I think we waited a little bit to grow into because we were just outgrowing that home office space. It was getting very, very cramped. So we decided to start looking for a showroom space that could accommodate all three of those businesses together. Especially with Tim bringing on windows and doors samples. I don't know where the heck we were going to put those. So, the cars are only so big, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, we decided to, after some serious shopping around the Queensbury, Glens Falls area, we found a location that we fell in love with that gave us all the space that we needed. So we're looking forward to hopefully opening. We have a target open date of January 16th. So we'll see if all those things align properly and we can get there. So the showroom's going to give clients who walk in the opportunity to kind of go into a different section. If they're looking for windows and doors, they're going to be able to go into that section where Tim has all that set up. We will also have, window treatment displays up, a whole beautiful fabric walls and hardware, along with also something else in the home interior design aspect. We have custom furniture that can be designed. We also have home decor items that will be for sale. So we'll have a whole mixture of things in here for clients to see.
Wow.
So
you guys definitely have your hands full.
Yeah. Other than that, we have nothing to do.
yeah,
I'm sure.
Go ahead.
You get bored all the time, I bet, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We've finally realized that we should probably recruit some of our kids to help us out. So
not a bad plan. Not a bad plan. I'm curious on the production side of things. Are you, for windows and doors, are you guys also doing installations, or are you just on the sales component of selling the windows and the doors and then working with folks to find an installer, or how does that work?
Yeah, installs as well. And to accomplish that, I've right now I've created a partnership with a local company as well. I'd be happy to mention them. It's J and J Michaels Construction. They're two guys, John and Justin. Real motivated, high energy, professional gentlemen who have built a couple homes and do remodels. So
Nice.
found them sort of randomly, and they seem to be working out well for us.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, as soon as you were talking about all the different things that you guys were doing, I was like, wow. I'm like, how do like I understand the sales and marketing aspect. Obviously, that's kind of my role and what my career's been. But then I was like, man, you got to do all that stuff and perform the work. Like, how you doing that?
Yeah, we can do pretty much the window treatment installation. We pretty much have that down overall. We do have another independent installer we can use for window treatments, but for window treatments we can sort of handle that. But yeah, I think windows and doors we definitely are going to need to partner with that company.
Yeah. What I know that you said you did a lot of research. Why did you end up landing on Got You Covered at Saratoga?
Well, that was something Tim spent, I'm pretty sure, months researching on different franchises.
I'm a spreadsheet guy.
Because
okay.
It wasn't actually going to be, necessarily window treatments in the beginning when he was searching. He was searching for different types of franchises to get started. So when he started going through the different companies that were out there and available, when window treatments came up, that's when my ear, he got my attention because that's my world. So, and so as we deep dived into that a little bit more, it just seemed like a more natural fit because I had been selling for Hunter Douglas for about 8 years or so. Prior to that, I had an interior design business for about 15 years. And also, my son-in-law has been doing installs for other dealers and manufacturers around the area. And then my daughter was also a designer. So it just seemed like a natural fit to be able to bring those people on and make that connection with doing the Got You Covered franchise. It just seemed natural. We had a ready-made team to go, and most people walking into a franchise don't even know how to install a shade, let alone know the background and have the team that we already had built. So it was a perfect match, I believe.
Yeah. And the power of franchising, right? Like it's I think such an amazing way to go for people when they're launching a business, that so much of the learning is already done. The mistakes have already been made by someone else. And you get to standing on the shoulders of giants, so to speak, right? To come into a system that's ready to go.
Yeah. And there were other window treatment. Once we narrowed down to window treatments, because that was her, where she came from, her experience. There was 3, I think, different window treatment franchises we were looking at. And we definitely, relationship wise, we hit it off with the Got You Covered folks. They're out of Colorado, hit it off with them. So much so that our franchise rep we got to know, and we invited her to our wedding a couple years ago. So so we hit it off with them. Relationships it means a lot,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
so that worked out well, and we get good support from corporate.
that's awesome. And so you have a pretty extensive background, Michelle, as far as the interior design goes, it sounds.
Yes, I mean, like I said, I had a business, down in Clifton Park for about 15 years. And mainly it was my main focus was, it started off with remodeling bathrooms and remodeling kitchens. And from that, it totally exploded into, doing other aspects of interior design, reconfiguring rooms and textures and lighting and color and all of those different types of things. So, it just naturally, what people, have been asking for, or what I have been doing that I enjoyed to do, just people started asking for help professionally.
Hmm.
So that's kind of how it evolved for me. I was one of those kids that when my mom came home, the living room would be rearranged, the bedrooms would be rearranged. And that was what I was doing as a kid for fun. So
That's funny.
it's kind of always been something that I really love and have been passionate about.
Yeah. And I'm curious to hear about like what does the process now look like for you with you have the three service offerings. Obviously, they all kind of tie into each other, are complementary in some fashion. So what does
Mhm.
it look like for prospective clients or clients that come in and work with you guys?
Well, I'll let you
Yeah.
take that one.
So essentially, folks are finding us. Obviously, when we first started mostly by Google searches, right, or a Facebook page. But now there's more and more word of mouth is the way to imagine, right, with the clients we're building. We've been running it for 2 years, really about a year and a half. We've been ramped up with Got You Covered, and 2025 is a pretty good year for us. But again, working out of the house, I think we have sort of a ceiling, of the business we can generate. So once folks find us, we then offer a free in-home consultation, design consultation, which is obviously Michelle's area. So she goes into that. By the way, we do residential and commercial. In fact, today we're going to see a local hotel about some draperies.
Nice.
So yeah, we do residential and commercial. So Michelle will go in and really look at not just sort of what the client thinks they want, but really sort of take a snapshot of it, get a full understanding of the home and their preferences and what they really want to accomplish short term and long term, and then she'll come back with some recommendations, which may or may not be close to what the client had originally thought they want to do. There's other factors to consider too, like energy savings and automation, right? We do a lot of automated window treatments now that can be synced with like Alexa for scheduling. But energy savings is a big thing. There's actually federal tax credit for some window treatments. So that, there's a lot of considerations that are more than just sort of color and fabric, right?
Yeah.
So that's what Michelle does and comes back typically within 24 hours with a quote.
It depends.
And then we're off and running. But so on top of that, obviously now she's doing more interior design work as well, because when she's in the home, a lot of times folks will say, hey, by the way, what do you think of this arrangement in the living room? And I was trying to do this, but can't quite get there. So Michelle can offer insight on that. But we really like to get to know the client. Certainly is partly why we don't charge for it in-home consultation. We really want to get to know them and just sort of be at ease with having a discussion on what they're really looking to do.
Mhm.
And then again, Window Depot, the Adirondacks is brand new, so we're just launching that. But that's going to be a similar concept where I'll go into the homes and inspect the windows for free and give a quote and or doors, entry doors as well, and then see if it meets the client's needs.
Yeah. It's it's fascinating, all the different, kind of verticals that you have and how they all kind of work together. What do you think some of the bigger challenges that you're seeing or expect to see as you're integrating these three different businesses?
Yeah, I think one thing, it's interesting because with the showroom, it's going to give us some good visibility, especially in our location, right? Which is, right across the street from Mohan's on Glen Street. And so I think visibility is not going to be an issue, but what we have to avoid is brand confusion too, I think, especially online, right? So I think it's a great thing that we have the three different logos, if you will. And oh, by the way, our landlord in this plaza is Buy Low Flooring Warehouse. So
I was going to ask that if that was
yeah,
the building. Yeah.
yeah. So we're really gonna have a home improvement pod here, a little one-stop shop, right? Maybe people don't want to go to the big boxes or whatever, but it'll be a nice destination for folks that want to look at more than just flooring and more than just window treatments. But anyway, so I think brand confusion we need to try to avoid. But it's really just getting the word out as to who we are, and why there's value in having sort of the custom design, custom window treatment service, versus, maybe going elsewhere where, you're not sure what you're getting as far as quality and quality of the service.
Yeah.
I'd like to add to that too, and I think that one of the other challenges, which, hopefully it's a good problem, is growth pains. Now being in a showroom and having, a place where people can come to us, having enough people to handle all of the different aspects of everything that we do, from, scheduling and inventory and all the things that are happening behind the scenes too, so it's, I think there could be some growing pains, but, we're kind of expecting that, I believe.
Yeah.
And, and we'll be probably hiring some.
Yeah, I think we'll be creating some jobs.
Hiring some people, so.
Yeah.
Love it. And I share your sentiment, Tim. I also hope people don't go to the big box stores and they come to see you guys. We're all about buying local over here.
I don't want to name names or anything, so
yeah. We just really firmly believe in buying from our neighbors whenever possible. So it's
great.
I agree with you there. What you kind of mentioned a little bit. I'm curious, who are potential, like, who would be people or businesses for that matter, since you also do commercial work, like who would be the types of people or businesses that might find the service that you're offering valuable?
Well, we're finding that, a lot of people that have in the Lake George area, well, from Clifton Park to Lake George, but Saratoga and Lake George seem to be a heavier market. And we're seeing these people that are coming up here that maybe have a second or third home, that are ready for a change. It's new construction, a remodel, whatever it might be. That those are the clients that, we would like to have a chat with.
Yeah.
I'll
also add, from a partnerships are important to us. We haven't talked about that yet. And I've been, part of what I do in the last year and a half is try to build relationships on the business side. So we've done some lunch and learns at realtor offices, right? So that they will know of us and potentially refer us to their clients. We've had a couple of meetings at architects, and we actually have a couple of nice partnerships with architects in the area, who like to see the quality of our window treatments and service. Builders know of us. Some know of us anyway. Any organization, any company that we can help to add value to their efforts, to their clients. We're all about trying to establish the win-win partnerships locally.
Other companies, also like, home automation. Dealers that are going in and putting in surround sound systems and Sonos and Control4 and all those types of things, because our systems that are motorized do integrate with all of those different solutions as well. So
I have two follow-up questions to that. One is, you mentioned realtors. Do you get into like staging and things like that with realtors, or is it more just from the?
It's funny you mentioned,
We-
someone asked us last week for the first
Oh,
time.
somebody else was asking us about it, and I said, honey, do you know what size warehouse we're gonna need if we do that? I mean, I'm all over it, but you know.
Yeah,
So,
someday.
yeah, but it's not something that's off the table, Mike. So, it is something that we're thinking about. But how we're gonna go about doing it and what type, and at what level is what we have to figure out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I had a second follow-up question for you, and now it's escaping
Oh.
my foggy brain here, my holiday brain. We've been not so much
Yes.
work mode the last week or so. Oh well, hopefully it'll come back to me here.
Okay.
So and then on the construction side, when you're working with builders, is it or contractors, is it because you are working with them on like the window and door side, or just the window treatment side, or all of it? Like how are you working with builders and contractors?
That's kind of a little bit of a mixture, because if we're doing the windows and doors, we're most likely doing that with the builder or
Mhm.
contractor. If I'm doing the window treatments, I have pretty much, I'm working side by side with the homeowner that's gonna buy the home,
Yeah.
because they're making their selections and we're doing that together based on everything else that they're putting in a room. So that's kind of like two different answers there, I know, but yeah,
Yeah.
so that's usually how that goes. And there could be, I think we may have had, some builders where, they're building a spec house, so they want to put something nice in, doesn't have to be crazy over the top, but maybe let's put some motorized shades in some common areas like the kitchen and the living room, where we can put, do that for them before the house is sold.
Okay.
So that they've got a spec home that's showing some, some perks.
And I'll also, sort of as a side note before I forget, which really doesn't relate to the last question, the awning and power screen business grew a fair amount last year too.
I was actually going to ask about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we can do awnings up to 30 feet. We did an install last year, or was it 2 years ago? Last year, did a 27-foot, 400-pound awning in Lake George, and had poor Michelle here up on a ladder helping us with that one. But we can do big ones, and they're automated and they're LED lit from underneath, so they're really cool. But those are nice. And then power
So
screens. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's a question on the awnings, for clarification, right? Because I know just recently I became aware of like your motorized pergolas and different outdoor features that have
Yeah,
become like really wild and crazy. And
yeah.
so when I hear the word awning, I think of like the old school like business awning. And so but that's not what you're talking about though.
That's correct. We're not talking about that at all.
No,
There's
Yeah.
an array of beautiful fabrics to pick from, different edging that you can do, obviously different sizes. And these are all motorized, so there's no old-fashioned crank thing going on, while you still have that option in case you lose power. But that's not how you're operating the awning anymore. And then in the arms of the awning has all of the LED lights, which are dimmable, so you
Okay.
can make it look very, aesthetically pleasing. And then, in our area too, especially up in Lake George, we also give our clients a wind sensor to go with this awning, so that if it's getting too windy, the awning's gonna automatically close.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's very cool.
So essentially, Michael, it's all for awnings. It's all about expanding available living space and power screens too. We've done some power screens where their houses back up to the woods and they can't use their outdoor patio because of the bugs.
Yep.
So we did a couple last year where we just created a whole other room for them essentially by installing power screens.
Mhm.
And and that's what I was going to ask about on the power screen. So is it essentially you're building out a frame and then these screens can open or close, go down or go up?
Exactly
Correct.
right. Yeah.
Correct.
They're very sleek looking. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
And how Is there like an app for that so you can control it all from your phone, or is it push button on the?
It's right now it's remote. But the company that we use, manufactured in Florida, they have a remote, but I believe they're going to go to the app hopefully this year.
Very cool. Very cool. I know we're getting close on time here, guys, but I want to make sure people know how to find you, where to find you, if they want to talk to you and they want to get started. Well, how do they do that?
Sure, go ahead, sure.
Well, our showroom is going to be at 704 Upper Glen Street, which, we're in Suite 1. So we're at the very front of the building, with all the glass facing Glen Street.
Oh yeah.
As far as, we have a phone line, of course, people can call our phone, 518-863-5525. We have so many phone
You say
numbers.
so.
5525. Of course, our emails. I'm M Schultz, that's T Schultz at gotchacovered.com.
And our
Okay.
website, of course.
And then, of course, our website, you can go there and fill out a web contact form for us to give you a call. And we also are on Facebook and Instagram and that kind of a thing there where people can reach out to us that way as well.
And I'll be in Market 32 shopping around like got you covered shirt on.
You'll see our truck too.
You can see our truck too. Exactly.
Truck is all wrapped up, so it looks pretty good.
Very nice. Well, guys, I really appreciate you taking time out and coming on the show with us and to help our listeners and readers kind of learn more about who you are and what you're doing. And like I said, we love it, love what you're doing, love the small business community here we're in Washington, Saratoga County. So any way we can help, let us know. And thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us, Mike. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. And of course, thanks everybody for listening. You can find us online at buyinglocal.us, or you can find our podcasts on Rumble, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. And appreciate you listening. Share the show, and you'll hear from us next week.